If you're tired of seeing your bets consistently lose and your FanDuel and DraftKings account balance slowly decline, you need to make sure you're implementing the 4 tips that I share with you in this video to become a long-term profitable sports bettor. These are the same tips that I've used to make over $11,000 in the month of September. We are going to lay down the foundation and framework for you. So the first 3 tips are going to set you up for success, but you need to make sure that you stick around and watch the entire video, because the last and by far the most important tip is going to make sure that you don't go broke within the first day of your sports betting journey. Coming from someone that's placed over 19,000 wagers in the last 3 years, this first tip is very crucial, something that I learned the hard way. We need to take a look at your daily betting portfolio, your activity, and at least 75% of these wagers need to be single or straight wagers. So when I say that, I mean you bet the Celtics on the money line, maybe the Nashville Predators on the puck line, or that Raiders-Chiefs game we bet the under on. Those are straight wagers. If you look at your daily betting portfolio and you're viewing that most of your bets, if not all of your bets, are parlays, that's a recipe for disaster. When we're betting on parlays, we're going to see a lot of variance, and you're going to run into a lot of losing streaks because, well, parlays are much more difficult to win than straight wagers. You're placing a 2, 3, 4 leg parlay. We need all of those legs to win in order to win our bet. Where if we're just placing this as a straight wager, we just need the Celtics to win the basketball game. Focusing your time and attention on placing more straight wagers is going to reduce the variables and the risk overall in your daily betting portfolio compared to parlays. When you put that 2-leg parlay together and you had one team win and one team lose, well, in a parlay, we lose everything. Well, with a straight wager, we might incur a small win or a small loss depending on the odds and what you're wagering on. Now, take a quick time out after I said that last statement. If you disagree with what I said, or you're not going to follow this first tip, then that's okay. That means that you're a gambler and not a sports bettor. This video is meant for sports bettors. You see, sports betting is a daily grind, day in and day out, placing a bunch of wagers, getting a small edge on each individual bet, and watching that edge compound over time. If you're someone that is a gambler, then this video isn't for you, because you're going after that big thrill and that big hit, and there's nothing else that I'm going to say on this video for you that's going to make any sense. So if you're placing 10 bets a day, at least 8 of those bets need to be straight wagers. Now for tip number 2, when we are wagering on parlays, we want to make sure that we're mixing in round robins into our parlay portfolio. And I'll stop you right there. If you don't understand what I just said, well, then let me introduce you to a little known strategy that nobody talks about. Over here on FanDuel, we're looking at the upcoming slate of games for the NFL. So where we love to incorporate round robins is when we like a lot of underdogs. We're looking at the board. We say, you know what? I like the Patriots this week on the money line. I think they're going to win the game. You know what? The Cowboys just came off a tough loss in San Francisco. I like them this week against Atlanta. And then, you know what? Why not? Doug Peterson coming back to Philadelphia. He's got something to prove. So on a parlay here, we're going to be receiving odds of plus 2032. But again, these are all underdogs, and especially on this Jaguars play, this could be really difficult to hit. Well, as you can see right down here, the sports books naturally want to hide round robins away from you. These are a series of smaller parlays. This is the most basic round robin, which is a 3x2. These are 3 individual 2-leg parlays. So the Patriots and Cowboys, that's 1 parlay. The Cowboys Jaguars, that's 2 parlays. The Patriots and Jaguars, that's a 3rd parlay. Something that's very important to note. Number 1, we are not getting paid out as much as we would play this as a parlay, but we only need 2 of our 3 picks to hit in order to return a profit. How many times have you placed a parlay and lost by 1 leg? All the time this happens. Now, if I wanted to just wager $15 in total on this round robin, well, we only want to put a 5 in this column. Again, as I mentioned before, we have 3 2-leg parlays. 5 times 3 is 15. As you can see down here at the bottom at FanDuel, we were going to be wagering $15. If we just typed in $15 right here, you can see that this is going to now turn into $45. Very important to note when we're wagering on round robins that we just want to wager. If we only want to wager $15, then we just want to place a $5 wager in the column. And now we have 3 2-leg parlays for the Patriots, Cowboys, and Jaguars. Same strategy, different sports book over at DraftKings. Maybe we really like the Pistons tonight on the money line. Hey, LeBron's coming home to Cleveland. We know the King is going to show out. Maybe we really just like the Wizards too at home tonight against the Hawks. So once again, 3-leg parlay odds of 15.51. Oh, but right here at the bottom, round robins are hiding. 2-pick round robin, 3 bets like we mentioned before. If we wanted to just wager $15, we type 5 right here. You could see 3 bets for $15. There it is. This is round robin betting. When we are wagering on underdogs, this is a fantastic strategy because if we hit 2 of 3 picks, we're going to turn a profit. Round robin is a fantastic strategy to use when you love a lot of underdogs when you're looking at the board. Also, if you're someone that likes to build 6, 7, 8-leg parlays. And a round robin strategy, if you lose 1 or 2 legs, you're still going to return an amazing profit. Whereas we know with a parlay, you're going to lose. Now within the parlay family, outside of round robins, I want you to focus more of your time and efforts on building traditional parlays compared to SGPs or same game parlays. The sportsbooks are ripping you off on same game parlays. Let me show you. Over here on DraftKings, this is how we would build a traditional parlay. We like the Celtics tonight, -6.5 against the Pacers. And then maybe we also like the Raptors +6.5 tonight against the Hornets. Well, this 2-leg parlay is going to yield us odds of +264. So if we wagered $100, our total payout would be $364 or a profit of $264. Now over here at OddsJam in their free parlay calculator, if we pumped in the Celtics and Raptors odds, you can see down here that we're getting odds of +264, and the payout matches what we're receiving over at DraftKings. But maybe you're like, you know what, Billy? I don't believe DraftKings or your parlay calculator. No problem, Jack. Here's what we can do. Over here on the odds converter calculator over at OddsJam, we can pump in the Celtics odds, bring in a traditional calculator, and type in 0.5192. Then we're going to want to multiply this with the odds that we're receiving on the Raptors leg, which is 52.83. So we'll go ahead and type in 0.5283. You can see we're going to receive odds of 27.43 as I round up. So over here, we just change the probability to 27.43, and we should receive odds of +264. So with traditional parlays, the sports books do not rip you off. They will always provide you a fair price. But that's not the case with same game parlays. Back over here at DraftKings, let's jump into this Celtics-Pacers game, and then we're going to click on the same game parlay over here. Now let's say for player points, we just think that Al Horford tonight is going to score 6 points or more in the game. And then for Derek White, we think that he's going to score 10 points or more. So this 2-leg parlay is giving us odds of -215. But as you can see with Horford at -280 and White at -900 on a parlay calculator, well, we should be receiving odds of -197. But the same game parlay engine is giving us odds of -215. So if we wagered $100, we're only going to get paid out $146.51, where the parlay calculator tells us, well, we should be getting paid out $150.79. Now you can see why the sportsbooks constantly push same game parlays. White and Horford play on the same team. We both need them to score points. So DraftKings algorithm automatically adds in some type of correlation to this and gives you a crappy price. And so for tip number 3, you want to focus on placing more round robins and traditional parlays when you are placing parlays. The only time that I will go after SGPs is if each individual leg has an edge. And even though I know that I'm receiving a reduced price, it still has enough of an edge that I want to have some exposure to it. If you found value in this content, make sure to smash that subscribe button and click that bell notification so you don't miss any videos that I drop. The last and most important tip is if I tell you that I'm going to wager on the Lakers money line tonight for 1 unit. If you don't know what 1 unit means for your wager size, then we have a problem. And so while the first couple tips that I provided you are very sound and solid, if you don't have any type of strategy when it comes to bankroll management and how much money you should be putting down per play, you are going to run into a lot of trouble. A unit is just a standard measurement of how much one's going to put down on a single bet. So my bankroll might be different than your bankroll. If my bankroll is $40,000 and yours is $1,000, and I tell you that I'm placing $400 tonight on the Lakers money line, well, that's 1% of my bankroll. For you, that's 40% of your bankroll, and you're like, I need to probably wager close to that amount, but you're not comfortable doing it. But if I told you that I'm placing 1 unit tonight on the Lakers, well, then you know that you should place 1 unit compared to your bankroll on the Lakers. So it's an easy way for sports bettors to communicate with one another with how much they love a play. If I told you that I'm placing 3 units tonight on the Lakers compared to 1 unit, well, that means I have a great level of confidence in this play. So the first thing that you need to figure out is how much money you have allotted for sports betting. This isn't money that you're going to dip dip into to take your girl out to dinner or to pay your Hulu subscription. This is just for sports betting. Once you have that figured out, then you're going to be able to figure out what your unit size is. Now, it doesn't matter if you have 5 sportsbook accounts or 50 sportsbook accounts and that money's spread out all across the different accounts. That's just the total number from all these accounts. What's that available for sports betting? Now, it's very important when we talk about single or straight wagers. We like to place this somewhere between 1 to 3% of your bankroll per play. Now, some might argue that 3% is too aggressive. Again, this is a choose your own adventure, whatever fits your bill. You do not want to go beyond 3% per play. Now, when it comes to parlays, it depends on the style of parlay that we're building. If I'm building a 2 or 3 leg parlay, I like to wager anywhere between 0.5% to up to 1% of my bankroll on a parlay. If we start getting into those 5, 6, 7 leg parlays, that's where I'll wager somewhere between 0.25% up to 0.5% of my bankroll on that parlay. No matter how much that you love a play, you want to make sure that you follow these parameters because you don't want to go on those inevitable losing streaks, which all of us sports bettors have, and then run the risk of kicking yourself out the game. And now you have to sit on the sidelines for a couple weeks or months until you can get that money back up to get back in the game. Outside of the tips that I provided you, if you truly want to take your sports betting journey from the minors to the majors, you need to have some type of software. And OddsJam is the software that I've been using for over 3 years. Link in the description is a 1-week free trial, and then use my code BILLYC. It's going to save you 35% off your first month after the trial ends. Now you have the tips and a free trial to a betting software that's going to put you on the fast track to success. And the NBA season is in full swing, and you need to check out this player prop betting strategy that has helped me crush the books over the last 2 seasons. Click this video right here that's going to walk you through step by step exactly what I focus on, the sports books that I attack, and the particular player prop markets that I focus on to make consistent cash all season long.